Hi everybody, it's Joni here at Joni's Journals. How are you? I am doing well. I'd like to say hi and welcome to everyone, and hi and a big welcome also to my new subscribers. Now I know we are going to be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway for the multi-fold tag journal that we completed, our accordion journal. And I will be doing that soon. It's not going to be today, and it's definitely not going to be tomorrow because it's Mother's Day. More than likely, it will be next weekend, okay? I just want to let you know that we are definitely going to do that. But what we are going to do today is I have been struggling trying to figure out something to do because I've been so busy this week, and I have a bunch of journals that I want to start, and I just didn't have time to sit down and gather everything together. I pulled some stuff up on my computer and I have to print it out and all sorts of things. But the other day I was watching Pam at Nana's Crafting Cottage, and she was making her own CD cases. So I said, wow, what a great idea. And, you know, it's a fun little project that we can do. And I just had to sit down and make some prototypes, which I have actually been doing for the past 2 hours this morning, making my prototypes. I usually do it on Friday night, but we ended up having company and we had a little bit of a pool party and a barbecue, so that just didn't work. So I did them this morning. And here's what they look like. Now, mine are rather plain. I'm trying to tilt them up so that the laminate is not in your face and reflecting back. I watched her video, and I created this one, the same exact size as hers, the same dimensions and things. But then I thought, well, you know, I have tiny journals that I'm making. Not tiny, but the Arty Arty journal is a small journal. And I thought that maybe I could make one a little bit smaller. So I developed my own prototype for a little small one. Okay, this one is, oh my gosh, I didn't even measure it. This one is, whoops, turn the ruler the right way. Mine is 3 by 3, okay? Yeah, a little bit, more here or there. But I have a little 3 by 3 one, which I know will fit perfectly into the Arty Arty journal. And I'm going to come back and we're going to decorate these, and we're going to do some with the Arty Arty paper so we can tuck them into that journal. But I figured, let me do both and let me just make them on plain cardstock, which is what I've been practicing on. And if I showed you, well, I will show you the pile of prototypes that I have been working on this morning. And these are all my fails, so I do want you to see my fails. I tried making the smaller one and using my 2-inch circle punch, and no matter how I used it, let me show you on this one, I couldn't get my circle in the middle. So I ended up using my circle dies for the small one. These are from, in case you're interested, if you want to purchase them, these are from scrapbook.com, and they're the wafer thin metal die set nested circles. There is no number. I can't give you that, but if you go in and you search up nested circle dies, you will find these. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Jill. Just let her know that, yes, I was working on organizing my dies and things. For my 2-inch circle, for my 3 by 3 CD case, I used the next to last size, which is this one. And I tried to develop a way for you guys to make your own circle using stuff you might have around your house. And I took a large lid from my mason jar, the inside of the lid, and I cut a circle. Let me find that one. Using that. And you can see it's not perfect, but it does work, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But I also ended up using my circle dies, which worked a lot better for me. But if you don't have the circle dies, using the little lid, I'm going to show you how to do it. And this way you don't have to worry about it. If you do have circle dies, just to let you know that I used the second, this one here, the next to last, second largest, I guess, circle in my set to cut out this circle on my CD case. And so, yeah, we'll get to all of that later. But I think what I want to do right now, after I get my dies put back in, is just show you how to make the basic case. We'll do a little bit of decorating on the larger one. Let me get all of this out of the way. And I'll show you how to use this to cut your circle. But we're going to do both sizes. And then I'm going to decorate the large one for you, okay? Because, oh, wait, maybe I can do both. Okay. Yeah, I might be able to do both. If I have enough time, I'll do both. Okay. Anyway, let's start with our large one. Now, you can see I have my small scoreboard here. I might drag out my big one. I don't know. What you're going to need to start for your large one is you're going to need a piece of paper. And I know this is reflecting, and I took out a different color paper so I can do it with you. But you're going to need a piece of paper that is 6 inches wide by 11 inches long, okay? So that's what you're going to need to do your big CD case. And I have grabbed out a little bit of a less obnoxious color, and I grabbed out a gray. It's not so bright in your face as the yellow, but the yellow is what I started with. So now you have your piece of paper. It's 6 inches wide by 11 inches long. And what you're going to do is you are going to, I'm going to move this up. You're going to score your paper. You're going to take your 6-inch side and you're going to put it along the side of your scoreboard. And you're going to score. I'm looking at my measurements because I screwed up before. You're going to make your first score at 1 1/8 inches. Okay. We're going to score down at 1 1/8 inches. I'm going to do this very slowly because my paper tends to shift. Okay. 1 1/8. Okay, that is going to be your flap, okay? Then where you're going to also score is you're going to score at 6 1/8 over here. I know they're crazy measurements, and I am sorry about that, but it works out the best way. If you are good with measurements and figuring out sizes and things, go for it, dude. But I know the 1/8 of an inch is a little bit like, Joni, what are you doing? But it works, okay? Then what you're going to do, and I'm going to push this up again, is you're going to score along the side here at 1/2 inch, right? Yep, 1/2 inch, okay? I'm going to do it on my small board, just because I can't grab the big one. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score at 5 1/2 inches, okay? And I am just going to flip my paper over, and I'm going to do the same thing at 5 1/2 and at 1/2, okay? Just because it's easier for me today. Okay, so now you have 1/2 inch scored on each side, okay? You have 1 1/8 here, and you have 6 1/8 here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my scoreboard out, and I'm just going to take my pencil, and I'm going to go down those score marks again with my pencil, because it's going to be a lot easier in the long run for you to be able to see where we're going to cut if I make a pencil line, okay? Let me just go down at the 1/2 inch mark again. Whoop. 1/2 inch mark here. and then at 5.5 inches here. You don't need to do this. I am doing it just for you, okay? So that when we do a little bit of cutting, you're going to be able to see a lot easier where I'm cutting if I have a little pencil mark for you, okay? So let's make sure. Did I get all my pencil marks? Nope. Yes, I did. Okay. Let me put my scoreboard aside. We'll work on the smaller one after. Okay. Now, take your scissors, and what you're going to do, this is the top of your CD case with the little fold over flap. Let me move you up. Oh, let me move you up just a little. Okay, I think you should be good now. Okay, and here's the bottom of your CD case. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissor, and I like to cut just as far left as I can in my score mark, which I'm hoping you can see with the pencil there. I cut the furthest to the left of the score mark, cutting in the score mark, but as close to the left side of it as I can. And you're going to cut up on the side like so. I'm trying to do this slowly. And you're going to cut just past that little 6 1/8 inch score mark. This one right here across the middle of it. And you're going to turn and you're going to cut a little bit of an angle. Hang on. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to close the door. My family just came home and they're putting groceries away. Okay, so you're cutting up this side, and when you get just past this little score mark, you're going to kind of go to a curve, okay? Now I'm going to turn it over, and I realize there's no pencil line on this side, but you should be able to see the little score mark here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut along our score mark as close to the left as you can get. Sorry, I hit you. And I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. Yes. And you're going to cut up. And you're going to go just past that little 6 1/8 score mark. Just like that. And then you're going to cut a little angle like so. Okay, so your paper should look like this. Okay, you're cutting this little angle to reduce bulk. Now, on the top, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to cut along the 1/2 inch score line as close to the left as you can. And you're going to do the same thing. Cut just past the 1 1/8 inch score mark. And you're going to curve a little as you come around, and you're going to cut it off. Okay, I'm going to flip it over, only because it's easier for me to cut. But you can still see there's a little score mark there. Going to cut as far to the left as you can. Okay. Go just past your 1 1/8 inch score mark and curve it out and cut it a little like that. So now you're going to end up with a piece that looks like this. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to take and you're going to gently fold in on your little score marks, just so you can see a little bit better where you're working. Okay. And we're going to fold down on our top like so. Okay, so now we have our top flap. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my corner rounder and I'm going to round the corners on my top like so. And again, like so. I'm using, for those of you who are subscribers for a long time, you know that I have this little corner rounder and it has 4 measurements, R4, R7, and R10. If I can actually find this on Amazon, I'll try and link it. Okay, so now you have your top flap rounded, okay? And then what you're going to do, just to make sure that everything is fitting, if I can grab a hold of it, you're going to fold up your bottom flap. And it's going to look something like this. Now, don't do any heavy scoring yet, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but my scoreboard doesn't quite always, and I guess it's because I don't push the paper all the way up, but sometimes when you fold it over, it's not even. So you kind of have to, excuse me, you kind of have to shift it around a little. And that's your basic CD case. Now, I'm going to show you how to measure the small one, and then I'm going to take this over to my die cut machine, and I'm going to put the holes in it, okay? But I am going to show you how to make the big hole on this one, okay? Let's go and let's do our small CD case. Now, excuse me. For this one, you're going to need a piece of paper that is 4 wide by 7 long, okay? And these are basically going to be the same way that we made the big one is how we are going to make the small one, okay? For the small one, again, it's 4 by 7. And you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to put your 4-inch side up against the edge of your scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can use a ruler and you can measure and bend, but I'm going to show you how to do it on my scoreboard. Okay, now for your top flap, you're going to score at the top at 7/8 of an inch. Okay, I'm going to do that one again. Okay, and then for your fold over flap, you're going to score again at 4. Okay, so that was 7/8 of an inch and 4 inches. Okay, I'll hold up the little card again so maybe you can see the little pencil marks on there where I did that. And then you're going to turn it and you're going to put your 4-inch side up at the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score at a 1/2 inch all the way down, and then you're going to score at 3.5 inches. Alrighty, so now you have something that looks like this. Again, I'm going to take my pencil and I am going to go down my score marks with the pencil so that you guys can see where I'm scoring. And I'm just going to turn this one around. It's a little bit easier for me working around the tripod. Okay, so I'm putting score marks at each of our 1/2 inch scores. And then I'm just going to take it. I'm going to put a little pencil mark here for you guys at the 4-inch mark. And then I'm just going to, in this case, it's, well, 6 1/8. But I'm going to do it on the little 7/8 of an inch score mark for you too. So now we have our pencil marks to work from. All right. And once again, you're going to take your scissor and you're going to cut up along your score line as far to the left as you can and go all the way up. And you're going to cut just past your 4-inch score mark. And you're going to take it and you're going to curve it out just a little. Okay, I'm going to flip it over to the other side because for some reason I cut better on my right. And I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to cut just past the 4-inch score mark. And I'm going to go and I'm going to curve it out. Okay, now at the top, same thing. You're going to cut just past your little 7/8 of an inch and you're going to curve out. Okay, flip it over and do the same thing again. Have you gotten bored yet? Okay, 1/2 inch just past the 7/8 of an inch and curve it out. And you'll have a little piece that looks like this. Once again, we'll round our corners up at the top for our flap, like so. So now you have that, okay? Now, I did try to find a way to show you guys how to cut a smaller circle onto the smaller CD case using something I could find around the house that I thought everyone else might have. And try as I might, I took out my small mason jar lids and I thought that maybe we could use one of these. Now you can, if you want to, if you can cut circles with that oh God, that like little surgical knife. I am petrified of them and I refuse to use them. If you want to do that, you can use this little lid to make your circle and cut around it. But the only way that I can cut out my circles is using a scissor, and then I kind of have to make other little cuts, and you'll lose the stability of your CD case. So I only used my dies to cut the circles out on my smaller CD cases. All right, I will take these and I will show you how to use the little circles from my die cuts. But first I want to show you how to make the big circle on your larger CD case, which as you can see is not folding evenly. So I'm just going to push this down, because on the larger CD case, the way that I cut out my circles, you honestly don't lose any stability, because I'll show you. The way I do it, let me make my circle for you. Excuse me, let me take a drink. Okay, my allergies are acting up today. I took the inside of my larger mason jar lid and I put it down on my CD case. Now I want my circle to be below my flap, like so. I want my entire circle to show once I close the flap here. So in order to do that, I fold my flap down and then I take my lid and I kind of center it from side to side on my CD case. And then I will take my pencil and I'm trying to see, whoops, I know I moved you, trying to see around the tripod here to make sure that my circle is in the middle. And it pretty much is. Now I take my pencil and I trace around my circle with my pencil. Again, working around the CD case. Working around the tripod is a little bit difficult. So now I have my circle like so, which I'm hoping you can see. If I keep tilting it, my circle is right here. Okay, I'm going to put this aside because I am not going to make you watch me try to cut out an even circle. I'm going to take the other one that I've already cut and show you what I do. I take and I slice right up along the side of my CD case so that it ends up with an opening like this. And then I trim around my circle, which, let me grab it. Once I trim it, you can see it's not perfectly round, okay? But I'm not really good at doing that. Now, you're probably saying, okay, well, now you have a very flimsy CD case. Okay, let me show you how I fix that. I take a piece of good old Scotch tape, cellophane tape, whatever you call it, wherever you are, and I lay my little case down and I will line up my edges. You can see I have my little cut there, and I line up my edges as straight as I can, okay, making sure that they're not overlapping. And then I will just take a piece of tape and I will lay it down over where my cut is. Now I'm doing this on the inside of the CD case, and I will flip it over, and as you can see, I do have tape still sticking out along the edge, trying to get a hold of this. And I'll cut off my little excess cellophane tape, which of course I can't see what I'm doing. And so, yeah, okay, so that's good. So now you can see that your CD case is still pretty stable, because what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you, I'm just going to glue this one down without decorating it. We'll decorate the other ones once I go over and make the die cuts. I'm going to glue it down on both sides. And no, it doesn't have any vellum in it, and it doesn't have any laminate in it, but that's okay. I will worry about that later. I will figure something out. I just want to show you how I do this. And then I'm going to glue my CD case together, making sure that it's straight. And I really have not ruined the stability of this, okay? You still have a very stable case, okay? And when we decorate these, which we're going to do in a different video, you can very easily, let me see if I can, oh, here's my ever-loving handy bug. You can just glue something down over that little cut mark. No one will ever see it. And the only one that will know that it's there is you, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take our little CD cases that we just created, and I'm going to take them over to my die cutting machine, and I'm going to put some holes in them. I'm going to cut some circles in them. And I will come back after I do that. But let me show you how I measure for my little circles that I'm going to put into my CD cases. Okay, so what we're going to do on this one, this is the bigger one, we're going to take our second largest circle, and we are going to, I'm laughing because my daughter's sneaking in and out of the room. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take our second largest die cut, and we are going to lay it down onto our CD case. And now what we're going to do, we're going to fold our little flaps here, our little top flap here. We're going to fold our little top flap down, and we're going to take our circle, and we're going to move it up just a smidgy. That is a technical term. A smidgy off the bottom of our CD case where we made this little fold. We're going to move it up just a smidgy, and we're going to do our best to center it onto our CD case, which in my case is probably going to be off by a smidgy. And I am going to grab a piece of washi tape, which hopefully I can get started. And I'm going to take my washi tape, which actually it's working. And we are going to just make sure it's centered again. And I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape, and I'm going to put the washi tape down to hold my die onto my CD case. Now, for the smaller one, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to use our second smallest, I guess, circle. And we're going to take it and we're going to fold our flap down, okay? Now, in this case, if I used the smaller one of these, it's too small of a circle. So I picked the second smallest circle, and I used that one to cut my hole. Now, while I wanted the hole to be completely visible, in this case, it's kind of impossible. Even if we go a little less than a smidgy from the bottom, we still don't have enough room so that our CD case stays stable, and so that when we fold our flap over, the whole circle shows. We kind of have to lose a little bit of the circle and move it up an entire smidgy, okay? And then we kind of make sure it's in the center, and then we're going to stick our piece of washi tape down, and I am going to go over and I am going to die cut out my circles. So I will be right back. And I'm back. I have die cut out my circles. How cute are they? Okay, and you can see they're still basically in the same place that I put them down before I showed you what I was doing. I had to adjust a little here or there to make sure they were in the center. Now what we're gonna do, I have pre-cut some pieces of, I am recycling laminate sheets. We use a lot of laminate in our classroom, making things for the children to use and to make and things as such. And so I take the scraps home. And what I've done is I have cut a piece of my leftover laminate. You could use packaging, which I don't have any in front of me. You can use the laminating sheets, not laminating sheets, the, oh gosh, I can never remember what they're called. Oh, you know, the little plastic. The window plastic, the Judykins window plastic. I will link that, okay? You can use that. I'm recycling some laminate sheets. So for my big one, what I did was I cut a piece of the laminate, and it is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and it will fit right down. Oh, what did I do? Did I get it right? Nope, it's a little big. All right, let me take out my little cutting board. Okay, we have a little oopsie, and I'm just going to trim a little off both sides of my laminate. Just a smidgy, you know that word, a little smidgy. I'm going to cut it off on this side, and we have a little scrap, and I'm just going to cut a little off on this side. And there we go. Okay, now it should fit. Okay, it should have been 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I don't know what happened. I must have mismeasured. Okay, and we're going to take our laminate, okay, and we're just going to glue it down. I'm going to take some of my Barely Arts craft glue because it does dry quick. And I'm going to go around this circle like so. Okay, I'm not going to use a lot because I don't want it to smush out and be on my window when I put my laminate down. Okay, so let's grab our laminate, which I know you really can't see, and I am just going to push it up to my little score line there. And I'm just going to push it down and shift it around so that the glue will adhere to the laminate. And once that I feel that it can't move, I'm going to leave it like so. Then what I did was I took a piece of scrap paper. You may remember this paper. We've used this in another craft before. And I cut a piece 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And we're going to take and we're going to glue that down to the other side so that when we close it, it will look like this. We'll have a little decorative piece in the background. Okay, so I'm going to take my Barely Arts glue again, and I'm just going to go around the edges. I know you can't see the glue, but that's okay. You know what I'm doing. And I'm going to put a little in the middle. Like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to take and I'm going to center this on the back of our CD case like this. Okay, so that you can't see it. You can still see your decorative paper on the bottom, and you'll see a little bit on the top. If you don't want this blank space up here, you can make yours a little bit longer, but I figured that this was a nice size. Okay, and so you see when you close your little cover there, you have a little decorative sheet in the back. Okay, then we're going to take our flaps, and yes, you'll notice I haven't inked anything, and this is where we're going to kind of use our little bone folder And we are going to just push our sides down so that they're nice and flat like this, okay? And then we're going to take the other one and we're going to fold it in again. And we're just going to push down like so, like that. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to fold over my little CD cover. You can see I still have my pencil mark. That's where I showed you guys how to use the mason jar lid, how to make your circle. I used that same piece and I used it with my die cuts and I cut my circles out. Okay, so now everything is nice and flat. You can fold over your flap if you want to, like so. I am not going to put any kind of closure on this because there's still stuff I might want to stick in here. So I'm going to leave that as is. You could use the little sticky dots, the Velcro sticky dots, and put them there if you want your CD case to stay closed. But I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. And so I haven't decided if I want to put a closure on or not. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue along the edges like this. Okay, kind of smush it in. And I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to put plenty of glue on here because we want our case cover to stay closed. Okay. And then I'm going to turn my cover over, and I am very sorry if it's reflecting. And I'm just going to make sure that it's straight. And I'm going to push it down like so. And there we have it. We have our little CD case. Okay, I'm going to let this glue dry. I'm not going to try to put anything inside of it just yet because I want the glue to stay stuck. Okay, and I'm just going to push it down. And so there you go. You have your larger CD case. Okay, and then we'll just take and we'll do the same thing with our little one. Okay. I'm just going to fold that a little. And I'm going to grab, now I do have vellum. I did make this one with vellum, okay? And I did this because I am sort of in the Halloween mood. And I know that you're probably saying, what are you doing, Joni? It's only May. But we are going to, on the Tracy Fox Creative Design Team, we are going to start our Creep on June soon. And so I'm kind of in Halloween mode at this point, or creepy mode. Now you can see through the vellum if you put something in there. But the reason that I'm not doing the vellum on camera, I may do it in the next video when we decorate these, is because I used my double-sided sticky tape. And in this case, when I made my circle, die cut my circle, I should have maybe moved it up a little because when I put the double-sided sticky tape down, you can see that this is just a little too wide for the bottom here. And so what happened is, you can probably barely see it. Let me grab my little awl here. Right here along the edge, right here, you can see my sticky tape is sticking out. So I didn't want to show you how to do that and show you something incorrectly because it's still kind of sticky out here. So what I did was I took my awl and I just kind of eased the rest of the sticky tape down into the circle like so that it really isn't that sticky, but it is a little bit sticky, and we don't want sticky on the outside. Unless, of course, you're going to decorate along the bottom here, and then if your sticky tape sticks out, it's not really going to matter if you're going to put something across here, but I did not want to show you something that was not correct, okay? And since I want to teach you the way to make your CD case so that your entire circle shows, I did it this way. Next time, if I do it again, when we come back to decorate these and make some that are decorated, I might move my circle up just a little, okay? That's why I'm not showing you how to do the vellum. I'm going to show you how to use the recycled laminate. In either case, if you want to try this, you can go ahead and do that. What I did was I took a piece of the recycled laminate and I cut it to be, same here, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, okay? Oh, what did I do? No, I didn't. I'm lying. I made my vellum. Let me grab my ruler because I'm a liar. I made my vellum pieces 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Okay, all right? So my laminate and my vellum, if I can grab a hold of it, are 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So remember that. 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 to be able to fit onto your little circle here, okay, to put in your window, all right? Forgive me for telling you the wrong thing, okay? The 2 3/4 inches is for the decorative piece. So again, vellum or laminate or the window plastic, 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, okay, guys? Don't cut it the wrong size, all right? So now we're going to take our little 2 1/2 inch piece of the recycled laminate, and I'm going to take and I'm going to put my glue on. You can see, again, that little space is very tiny. So when I come back, I'll show you how I measured to make a little bit more room for using the double-sided sticky tape and using our vellum to make our spookier little window. I will show you how to do that next time. It's basically very simple. You're just going to change the position of your circle, but I'll come back when we decorate them and I will show you the measurements. I know that a lot of you can probably figure it out on your own, but I know that some people may not be able to. So when I come back and we start decorating some of these, because I'm going to go and I'm going to make some with a more decorative cardstock, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to probably use Tim Holtz and Tracy Fox, and I'm going to make some of these for the Arty Arty journal. So yeah, we'll come back, and I'll show you where I positioned mine so that we don't have a problem with the double-sided tape, okay? But here we go. We have our little 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 piece of the laminate sheet. Now this is what you're going to cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. This is your little decorative piece for the back of your CD case, okay? So that when you fold it up, you're going to see your little brick wall or whatever you're going to use to decorate the inside. And I'm just going to put some glue all around like I did on the big one. Okay, we're going to go around the edges like so. I'm going to go around the edges like that, a little in the middle. And then we're just going to lay our piece down. And again, we're going to try and center it. The reason that I don't make it exactly the size of the back of the CD case is because you may not want to see your decorative piece up here. And you want to make sure you have enough room so that when you fold over, it doesn't interfere. And the sides don't even matter. But yeah, that's why I make them just a smidge smaller. Okay, and again, we're going to fold in our sides. And I'm just going to push it down with my bone folder. And push it down with my bone folder again over here. And I'm going to bring up the bottom of my case. And I'm going to run it down along here. And I'm going to fold over my flap, which again, I'm not going to put any closures on this because I don't know what we're going to do with them afterwards, okay? Like I said, you can use the Velcro sticky dots if you want, but because this is a lot for one video, I just figured we would come back at a different time and we would decorate them. Okay, I'm going to run a bead of glue or a smudge of glue. Oh, today's the day for smudges and smidgies. Okay, and I'm going to run it along the sides, and I'm going to fold my front of my CD case over like so, and push it down and make sure it's even. And now's the time when you might want to trim off, like if you didn't quite get your cuts right when you were cutting along on your score marks. Now's the time when you can go back and you can trim it up and do it that way. But there you go, guys. There's our CD cases. Now, let's just make sure that we know what we have, what size this one is. See, my glue didn't stick. Okay, this one ultimately will turn out to be just under 5 inches wide. And I don't trust this ruler, guys. This ruler is not exact at any time. So it's 5 by, yeah, see, 5 by 5, just under 5. With another ruler, it may be 5 by 5. And our little one, which, isn't it so cute? It turns out to be 3 by 3. And so, yeah, this size would be perfect to fit into a narrower journal if you're doing a tall, narrow journal, which brings me back to the other things I want to do, which is a stationary snippets journal. This will fit perfectly on a narrower page. And this one, if you want to tuck it into your journal or lay it in your journal, or if you have your 8.5 by 11, this is going to be just a little bit bigger at 5. No, 8.5 by 11. 11 divided in half is 5.5. So this is just going to fit on your page for a standard size piece of paper. Okay, but yeah, here's all the little ones we made. The big ones we made. Here's the little one we made. Here's the little one I made. And here's the little one I made with the laminate. I promise I'll show you guys how to do that. So yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, please. And please remember to like that thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. That would be awesome. It brings me out into a wider world of YouTube when you do that, okay? And I'm going to send you lots of love and big hugs. And I am going to try to find the link for this little circular punch here. And what else did I use that we might need another link for? I think that's it. Okay, guys? All right. So here we go. We're going to come back. We're going to decorate it. We're going to alter this one just a little bit so I can show you how to put the vellum on using the double-sided sticky tape, because we all know vellum does not like glue. Okay? All right, guys. Take care for now. And love, big hugs, and I will see you soon. Okay? Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your day or night or wherever you happen to be. Okay? I will see you soon. Thanks. Love and big hugs. Bye-bye.